Plaintiff Catherine Smith says in her 20s she was out of control, and she and the defendant used to party together. Catherine claims after she got her second DUI, she decided to turn her life around, and that's when the defendant ended their friendship. She's suing her former friend for car repairs and payments. Defendant Lindsay DeMars says Catherine was a big partier who slept with a lot of their friends and often did cocaine in the bathroom. Lindsay denies owing Catherine for anything, and she's countersuing for slander.
Start with you.
We were friends, and a few years ago, I was in my 20s and definitely made some bad decisions.
Why you all laughing? I believe her. Go ahead. These people are terrible.
A few years ago, I was.
Yeah, right. Terrible. Go ahead.
I joined the Navy. Got kicked out of the Navy because I did go to jail for smuggling drugs. Came back to Denver, decided, I didn't really learn my lesson then, decided to do some partying, was having a good time. I had no real responsibilities. I'm single, I have no kids.
What is the nickname for Denver?
Mile High.
Makes sense. Smuggling drugs, came back getting high.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I was just having a good time. I would go out and party, drink, definitely make some bad choices. I met Lindsay at a bar. We had a mutual ex-boyfriend, and we hit it off. I thought she was a cool person. We did a lot of partying, we hung out a lot, played a lot of beer pong, and definitely just was having a good time. I got my first DUI shortly thereafter, and
hanging out with her.
Says it with such a smile.
Didn't really learn my lesson. I learned nothing, and continued to drink and party and things like that. I got a second DUI a few years later, and realized, it was time for me to change. I needed to grow up. It was definitely an experience. I had to go to jail for my second one, and
For how long?
It was 10 days. And her and I no longer speak. We don't hang out. I don't go out. I work.
Over the car issue or over something else?
Both, over the partying and the car issue mainly.
How did partying cause you all to break up? You decided to stop and she continued?
Yes, I didn't go to a birthday party, and she told me I was a terrible friend.
All right, let me get a little background from her. Go ahead, let me hear from you.
First of all, I feel like I was a very good friend to Kate. She called me. I came and got her in the middle of the night from the side of the road when she got a DUI. She was doing reckless things. She would go to the bar and get drunk. She would go home with my friends and then go around town talking about how small his stuff was. She did do coke in the bathrooms. I mean, it was things. It wasn't necessarily her deciding that she needed to change. I cut her off, because I didn't want to be around that situation anymore. I didn't want my life to go down the drain like hers had.
You ever been convicted of DUIs?
I have a DWAI back in 2008. Your Honor, you have to understand, she has 5 years or more on me in age. So when we met, it was actually in her late 20s, and I was in my early 20s. And that's when I did.
4 more years to get another DUI.
Right.
That's not, I'm more responsible.
Not on your agenda, I hope. Tell me why you're suing her today.
She called me in February of 2012, begged me to co-sign on a car with her. She said she had nobody to help her, and that she had already purchased the car. They let her drive away with it, and they told her if she didn't bring a co-signer back or more money down, she would have to return the car and pay money per day for the days that she had used it.
That's not fully true, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
I have a very strong family background, and I felt bad for her. She told me she had nobody to help her out. She was a single mom, or is a single mom, and I thought, you know what, I can do this. So I did it. Then in July is when we sort of lost touch. She got mad at me because I didn't go to her birthday party, and I called. I just sort of left the car alone. I was served papers in August after that, stating I was being sued for a check that was written in February for $500 that had bounced. I called the The attorney's office, they said that it was a down payment for the vehicle that was written in February, and they had tried multiple times to contact all of us.
This is news to me.
Go ahead.
She told me she would contact them and get it taken care of. But that didn't happen. We went to court in September and came to an agreement with the attorney that I would pay $100. She would pay $200 starting in October every month until the lawsuit was paid off. I received paperwork in December, just before Christmas, stating the lawsuit was in default and that my wages were going to be garnished on my next paycheck. I contacted her and she stated to me she would contact the loan company and get it all taken care of. She told me she mailed a check one time, but it came back because it had the wrong zip code on it, and it closed. The place closed before she got off work.
She had the car all along?
She had the car. Yep, she had the car that whole year. Yeah. And then when I got the garnishment papers, I called the bank and found out she was actually behind in the loan as well. Very much over, I would say, at 50 days. They told me they needed a payment as soon as possible or they would be sending it out for repossession.
That's not true, Your Honor.
So I went to the bank and paid a $355 payment. They garnished my wages, and I paid several $100s up until I quit my job in May of that following year. And she never made a single payment towards the lawsuit, period. I constantly told her, if you don't want the car, you can't pay for it, I will take it and I will take care of it. And she finally called me in June, I think is when I took it, and told me, you better just come and get it.
She was doing reckless things. She would go to the bar and get drunk. She would go home with my friends and then go around town talking about how small his stuff was. You know, she was, you know, she did do coke in the bathrooms. I mean, you know, it was things. It wasn't necessarily her deciding that she needed to change. I cut her off.
Defendant Lindsay DeMars was friends with the plaintiff, and she claims the plaintiff was promiscuous and used cocaine.
Go ahead.
I made a payment in June as well for over $700 because she was so behind on that loan again. She also called me in February of 2013 and told me she had been in a car accident and that the damage was significant to the vehicle, but that she had talked to a guy and he had said he could take care of it. I said, why don't you have the insurance pay for it? Oh, well, the police report doesn't state fault, so my insurance company is denying the claim. When she told me to come pick up the car in June, it was still damaged. She had not fixed it, and I had to pay to repair it. When I went to file the claim, I got a copy of the police report and her insurance policy. I called the insurance company on it, and they said she hadn't had insurance for over a year.
At the end of the day, how much money are you going to be, or are you currently out?
Currently over $5,000, but $5,000.
Here you cleaned up your life, trying to do the right thing, not getting high or getting drunk anymore, and you have to go through all this.
Yes.
I bet you back to getting high now, aren't you?
I what?
You're probably back to getting high, aren't you now?
No. It doesn't turn out for you.
I wouldn't hold it against you. Go get you a good joint. You're in Denver. You're in Denver. It's legal.
It is legal.
Wait till you get out of Chicago. It's illegal here unless you got a medical condition or limp like he does. So you can claim, yeah, right. Nothing wrong with you. You going to jail. You keep on. I'm gonna send you. All right, ma'am. What do you say to all this?
Well, Your Honor, first of all, when the payment was made, her parents made the payment. So if I had somebody to constantly bail me out of anything,
Go ahead.
then maybe,
I'm sorry.
you know. So without me I wasn't aware of the garnishment. I wasn't aware of the fact that she had made a payment. Second,
you didn't know that you didn't pay.
Huh?
You didn't know that you didn't pay either, did you?
The car was never that far behind, Your Honor. The car was never that far behind. And I know for a fact she contacted our mutual friend and said, I'm going to go get the car in the middle of the night. Where does Lindsay live? My friend called me and said, hey, Kate's going to come and get the car from you. And I said, why? And she said, I don't know. She said she's just coming to get the car. Because by this point, she knew that I had gotten into a wreck. There was never a point where that car was up for repossession. There was never a point where I wouldn't take care of it. And she just jumped the gun on it.
You said you were paying? Didn't you say you were paying all along?
Well, she was saying that she said that there was a check in the beginning.
No, we're talking about you. Did you say you paid all the payments?
Yes.
So why do you think they garnished her if all the payments were made?
Well, there was something that didn't go through. It must have been the down payment check.
Run that by me again?
The down payment check was probably what she got garnished for, yes, because we did go to court for it.
I have the paper that was the agreement that was come to.
Your counterclaim for $2,000, how does she owe you?
Your Honor, I just don't think that it was necessary to hire a private investigator. I don't think it was necessary, or is still necessary. You know, if she's cleaned up her life, then how is it that I'm getting told within the place that we used to live together in the town that she's still going around bashing my name? I'm irresponsible and I don't pay my bills and don't do this and she's that. You know, I mean, I don't think it's fair that she can just go around and bash me because half of the stuff
That's not bashing you, that's telling the truth on you.
Well, it's not necessarily.
It is. You haven't paid the car off. That is. You didn't pay your bills. What else you say she said about you?
I'm irresponsible.
Huh? You're not responsible. You aren't when you don't pay your bills.
Well, I do pay my bills.
You didn't miss a payment on this car.
The car was never, I'm not saying I didn't because at one point I got laid off.
That's not paying your bills.
Well, I got laid off and then I said that I would make the payment, but she jumped the gun. She jumped the gun and
All right,
took
when
the
you
car.
got laid off, did you pay it while you were laid off?
No, I couldn't make
Right,
it.
so you didn't pay it.
Well, I didn't have the money. That's
Okay,
why I got
well then
behind.
say it. Don't act like you did.
She also ruined my credit.
Right.
And I have lists of payments that were made by her.
That's why I don't co-sign for anyone.
I learned that lesson.
Let's see, what do you have?
This is the list of payments starting from the beginning of the lawsuit. And
Put your name down for someone for thousands of dollars. They do you like this, and then they talk crazy to you.
And she did know.
She jumped the gun. I don't care if she was getting garnished.
She did know that the garnishment was going on. Because
Well, if she didn't know, now you do. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Yours is dismissed.
Kate,
Miss?
Yes.
can I say something to her really quick?
Yep.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't want to hug.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Here, we can handshake.
No, it's good.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm over it.
Okay.
I don't have anything else to say.
Nothing's gonna happen. We live in totally different circles, and
Well, apparently not, because you like to bash me.
we don't have any mutual friends, and I have a completely different life now. I don't talk to anybody she's friends with. I blocked everything from her, and I don't even know her new boyfriend. I just found him.
You do, because you found me. You stalked him to get a hold of me.
I didn't stalk him.
Yeah,
I
you
hired
did.
someone to find you.
Yeah, it's not that hard. You can make
And
one
that's-
phone call and find me.